from Johannesburg in South Africa. Brian Neubert is the director of Africa Media Regional Hub at the U.S. State Department. Brian, it's good to see you. Good morning. Let's talk about AGOA, the conference that all of you were part of in Lome, Togo, in West Africa just about a week ago. And, of course, it looks like you had a safe trip back to Johannesburg. So what was achieved at this AGOA conference, the first of its kind?
Well, the AGOA Forum, the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act Forum, is actually hosted either in the African continent or in the United States every year. This year, Togo was the host, did an extraordinary job of bringing together United States officials with counterparts from the 38 sub-Saharan African countries who are eligible. Last year, African exports, non-oil exports to the United States under AGOA were $4.2 billion. That's good as a start, but everyone, American and African officials, agreed the potential is much greater. And so the official meetings, the private sector and civil society meetings in Lome last week focused on how to maximize the potential of AGOA to spur economic development and industrialization in Africa between now and 2025 when AGOA runs out.
So Brian, where are the drawbacks for a grand success of AGOA over the last several years, because this program is about to run out in about 8 years from now? What are the major drawbacks from the African delegates last week at this particular forum?
Well, I think one of the things that was addressed, as you mentioned, 2015, the AGOA legislation was extended for 10 years. So that gives quite a bit of predictability. And since AGOA was first passed in 2000, has not always been as predictable. And African leaders, including our hosts in Togo, made clear in the meetings last week that African entrepreneurs in a number of markets were not quite ready in 2000 to take full advantage. Throughout AGOA's early history, much of the dollar value was in oil exports from a few big oil exporting countries, including Nigeria. Of course, the United States is now mostly energy independent thanks to the technology of fracking. So AGOA is much less an oil story, but what it should be, in particular in Nigeria, is a tool for economic diversification. And that has happened, again, with $4.2 billion in non-oil exports. But Nigeria alone could match or exceed that number if entrepreneurs were accompanied, encouraged, given information on logistics and on the requirements to access the U.S. market. Under AGOA, the door is open for the United States market. And what we discussed last week was how to help more and more entrepreneurs and investors in Africa walk through that door, access the market in order to create many more jobs in Africa.
Brian, situate AGOA within the broader U.S. trade-Africa bilateral trade relations under the Trump administration.
Well, AGOA has been and continues to be the cornerstone of U.S. economic engagement in Africa. I would highlight the United States. The head of the delegation was Ambassador Lighthizer. He is the U.S. trade representative for the United States government, for the Trump administration. To put that in context, he is the United States' top trade negotiator. This is an official who is very busy with an enormous responsibility. And for him to spend 2 days in Lome in countless official meetings, plenary meetings, bilateral meetings with his African counterparts, I think demonstrates a very strong commitment to continue to trade in Africa. The theme was prosperity through trade. Certainly, American companies want to export to Africa to participate in modernizing economies. They already are doing so. Many American businesses are interested in exporting to Africa and investing in Africa. And obviously, our goal is for African entrepreneurs and enterprises to be able to create more jobs and export to the United States. It's very clearly a win-win. Even though AGOA is a one-way program, we don't get anything official in terms of access to markets, although in the spirit of the agreement, we hope to have some market access. But this is primarily a one-way program that benefits the 38 eligible African countries and allows them to export to the United States. And that commitment through 2025 has been demonstrated to be held by the Trump administration, which is very positive to complement all of the other things the United States does in Africa.
Brian Neubert, we thank you for your time today. A very short conversation, but very insightful about what was achieved at the AGOA Forum for 2017 in Lome, Togo. Thank you very much out of Johannesburg, the Director in charge of Africa Media Regional Hub in Joburg. Thank you very much from the U.S. State Department. And that wraps it up for us today on Business Morning, Thursday, the 17th of August. I'll see you again tomorrow, Friday, and then we'll wrap up the business and markets week. Do enjoy your day, and I'll see you in 24 hours' time.